All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the MeeZoid YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a lot of talking. Very important, though, not clickbait whatsoever, and I kind of just want to go over everything going on right now and how we're going to be moving forward. So, you probably read the title, that's why you clicked on the video. Yes, it is official. We are quitting HCF. I know I uploaded a video similar to this like a few months ago when I was quitting 1.8 HCF, but guys, it's over now. We are fully quitting HCF, and I have a few things I want to talk about, future plans, like I said, what I'm currently doing right now, why this is all happening, and yeah. So I will say this is likely a permanent quitting of HCF. Okay, I've been doing HCF content for since I started the channel. That's what this channel started as, and it's been like 7 years, and the game mode's just not, players have just lost interest in the game mode. I've lost interest in the game mode. We've tried making it work on 1.20, but there's a lot of difficulties with that I don't know if I'm going to talk about in this video, but it's kind of over. Viper is shutting down. You probably heard that by now. We're going to have one final Start of the World on November 25th, I believe. It's just going to be an infernal Start of the World, and that's going to be our final farewell. So to get started right away, I think this is very important to talk about. What am I going to be doing in the future? What is this channel going to consist of? Obviously, HCF has always been the core of my channel. It's always been my most viewed content. Like, I've done stuff on the side like factions, skyblock, prisons, any other random game modes, really, even Pixelmon. But HCF has always been the most viewed, and now that that's gone, what will I be doing? So you might have already seen, I did start uploading Hoplite, which is a higher version battle royale UHC type of thing. I'm just going to be trying out stuff that I actually enjoy, and obviously Minecadia. Minecadia will be a big core of my channel from here on out. I have a lot of plans with Minecadia as a server owner to actually expand it into different game modes and higher version and stuff like that. Obviously factions, we're still going to have factions, and I love playing that. It's very fun making content on there, staff series, playing, all that. So that's going to continue, but I will be doing Hoplite as well. I want to see where I can take that because I actually really enjoy that. You should probably watch my first video. I talk about a little bit of my plans with that, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing with this channel. But if you guys did not know, I actually have like 3 other channels that I nearly daily upload on. However, all of these channels are related to gambling, so I'm not going to recommend you check it out unless you like that content or you're on the older side of the audience, because again, it's gambling. I've got the main one that I do, which I do like a bunch of different variety. I just made a CS channel, which this one is actually going to have gameplay videos on as well. It's not going to be just gambling, but there's CS gambling with also gameplay videos, and then I have a slot machine live casino one. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff in like different areas of YouTube, and I'm really passionate about that, and I enjoy doing that. So some of you guys may have seen my channel. It's like, damn, this guy's been doing this for so long and his views are in the gutter. Like, what is he doing? I've been working on other stuff. Obviously, I own servers on Minecraft, and that's a big part of my day-to-day. The YouTube thing, like, it started off as just a passion, and it's always remained one of my favorite things to do, like creating content. But this quickly turned into more of a area that's involved with business, like owning servers, partnerships, and all that sort of stuff. So when it comes to creating content, I kind of continue this just because I've been doing it for so long, but I've never really seen this MeeZoid channel as like anything that had a potential to blow up or become like a mainstream Minecraft channel. That is until like I started uploading Hoplite. I think Hoplite can actually do something and maybe grow the channel a little bit, so that's why I'm doing it. And also, like I said, I really enjoy it, but that's something else. But yeah, I do a bunch of other stuff outside of the MeeZoid channel, so there's always that link down below in the description if you do want to check it out. But again, outside of the audience only, it is like pretty much all gambling content. And if you didn't know, like a lot of people from the HCF community or the Minecraft community like have gambling channels now. It's pretty funny. Like iMake's been doing it for years. You guys know Bro MC, he's been doing it for over a year. Now I'm in here, so yeah, it's been good. I've been doing it for like a year now. But I want to make it super clear, guys, that I could not have been here today without you guys supporting the videos, and very importantly, the servers I own and the partnerships that I get. Those are literally the only reason I can still be uploading like after all these times. Like eventually, if I wasn't turning this into somewhat of a job or a business, I would not be able to be here after all these years. That's pretty self-explanatory. So thank you guys so much for all the support there. And Minecadia has been really fun with all the plans we have there, factions, the future plans, like I said, even introducing game modes like Pixelmon and stuff. So stay tuned. We have a lot of stuff planned for Minecadia. And speaking of that, I don't know when this video is going out, but there is a new season opening on Friday the 17th at 5 p.m. EST. It's going to be factions. I'm going to try to upload a lot more of it because obviously factions is now going to be like one of my main cores. But I'm sure you could tell recently I've been taking more of a break from YouTube. Like I don't know, I've been doing it for so long. I knew Viper was closing for a little bit now. I knew it was quitting HCF, and I was just kind of relaxing a little bit. But now it's time to get back into it, focus on what we have, and see where we can take it. Hoplite, Minecadia, and that's pretty much it. We'll also be doing OP Legends when if the partnership continues and stuff like that, so shout out to them as always. And yeah, that's like the only reason I can keep going on YouTube after all this time is because of you guys, so thank you so much. But yeah, to kind of come back down to the HCF topic, I do feel like, I mean, I've always enjoyed HCF. HCF has always been so fun to me when I was playing with my friends and stuff. When I played by myself, you know, it was a little bit more annoying sometimes, but I really loved playing with my friends. There was some of the greatest times that I've had in my life. Honestly, I met some great people in the community. I mean, this game mode, as weird as it is to say, this game mode has shaped my life. Because I've just been doing this since, you know, freaking 7 years ago, man. It's changed everything about who I am today and what I do every single day. So again, I mean, that's just how it is. I am honestly, I do call this somewhat of a bittersweet ending, because I am honestly happy that it's time we can move on and I can progress to the next chapter. It's no lie. As long as HCF existed, I was going to keep pushing Viper, trying to make it work. Honestly, it'd be great if it was working, because I'd be happy with it working. But it's been an uphill battle for like almost 2 years now, and that has been so, I guess, hurtful to my mentality of just doing YouTube on this channel, the Minecraft in general, and then HCF. It's been super draining. So I'm gonna touch on that a little bit and explain that to you guys. Not in a bad way, but I do feel like HCF has held this channel hostage. Like, not in a bad way. That's just like the best way I can explain it. Like, as long as HCF existed, or at least my server existed in HCF, I would be uploading it. There's no way I would just give up on it unless the entire team has agreed that it's time to move on, which we have. So yeah, let's talk about like why this happened. I'm guessing this video would get more views than my normal concurrent views right now. I'm getting like, honestly, I'm averaging like 3 to 5K a video, which is on a good day. But I'm guessing some of you guys probably clicked on this and maybe you haven't watched me in a while, and you don't even know why it's shutting down or why I'm quitting HCF. But pretty much, frankly, Viper is dead. HCF is dead. 1.8 HCF is dead. We tried 1.20 HCF, and we were very passionate about that, and it honestly did not do that great, especially the player loss from the grand release to the second map was like horrific. And yeah, there's paths we could branch out on, but there's a lot of difficulties with it, which I'm going to talk about again. And we just decided it's time to, you know, throw in the towel. So to reflect back on what's happened over all the past 2 years, I said it was an uphill battle. So what happened is pretty much Viper was Viper. You know, we came back in 2018 because Viper existed before we became owners of it. That's actually where I first started uploading content on YouTube for HCF in a very way that actually helped my channel. I pretty much brought back, or we had like a friend group that did invis rating, and like nobody at the time did invis rating, and I contribute that factor to my success greatly. I think without invis rating, I would not be where I am today. And I honestly think that my style of gameplay, our style of gameplay that we all uploaded, kind of did change what HCF was for some players, like the casual player base. And you know, that was on Viper. So that's why when Viper had an opportunity to come back, I really wanted to go to it, because that was literally where I grew up at, and I wanted to build up that brand. So it came back in 2018 with the original owner of Viper, which is Brandon, and then me and Tamer, which is Spino, came on as owners. So that's what happened. And then obviously it is what it is today. So from 2018 to now, the past 5 years, we've been doing Viper. We just had our 5th year anniversary like last month. So it was going well after all this time. You know, when COVID happened, obviously players were like, you know, the lockdowns and all that. There's a lot of people on their computers. That gave HCF some actual like peak player counts and stuff like that. A lot of people were playing. Views were like at an all-time high. Like honestly, any internet company or game was like experiencing highs during that time. Then, you know, we were still doing well. We were continuing it, following our seasonal quarterly update plans, where we do like a big update every quarter, change up gameplay, content, all sort of stuff, and still weekly maps and all that. Obviously, we did have like 2-week maps in the beginning. We had Royale Reforged, but eventually it was just all Infernal. Okay, I'm going to skip over that history because that's like, that's so far back. I barely even remember stuff like that, guys. But yeah, we're in Infernal, and I think it's 2021 Christmas. I think that's what it was. We had like a very low player count for an update. Like it was still really good. It was like, I think 1,300 players, but that was like our lowest player count on an update in a long time. And we kind of knew, okay, something's up. We know we're going to work to fix it. But then after that, Mojang, boom, blocked. Okay. And this was time, like I to be completely honest, this was during a time that I think it was a different enforcement team at Mojang that was trying to make like an example out of us. Like that's honestly the way I took it, because it was really weird. The enforcement team was in our Discord, and they didn't reach us out. They didn't reach out to us on Discord or anything like that. They followed the policy that they have to email us, and since they couldn't find our email, we got blocked. And even though we got in contact with them right away, like saying, explaining the entire server, looking to make changes, they kept us blocked for over a month, which was crazy. And but what was weird is that I did get in contact with the enforcement guys on Discord, and they let us keep another IP open for players to connect. So I just felt like it was, I felt like we were getting made, like they were making an example out of our server, because why would you, if the goal was to keep us blocked, why would you let other players log on? And if you're going to let other players log on, why not just unblock the server, because we're communicative and we're responding? So back then, I honestly, that was a terrible time of Viper history. It was really annoying what we had to do, or what we had to go through, because that was like a month-long block of HCF, and I really think that was kind of that was just the death. Okay, I think from there we died, and it was kind of hard to bring that back. A lot of players hopped off HCF. Maybe they found other interests and they never came back. Even like our competition at the time, like they weren't even having good player counts for the Worlds during this time. The entire game mode as a whole was kind of going down. But yeah, if it's not already clear, a Mojang block or your server getting just instantly blocked for a month is a severe, like that's a severe hit to a business. Like imagine you have a business and you're paying like 50 people, okay, and their livelihood or stuff that goes on in their day-to-day relies on that source of income, and then boom, it's gone for a month with no notice. Like that is significantly hurtful to not just the internal side of the company, but once it actually happens, the external side, like players' engagement to the server, like that dwindles and fades away. Like you have to constantly grab players' attentions to make a server work long term, and just blocking that off for a month, I mean, that hurt us so bad in my opinion. And what also sucked during this time period is like, so pretty much, if you guys did not know, Mojang blocks used to exist and they were just easily bypassable. So any server that got blocked, it just did not matter. Like even back in the day, I think Velt was blocked for all of its existence, but it just did not matter. So once they fixed this and they made it so that you cannot bypass it anymore, that's when like the enforcement team kind of came back. And that's why I felt like we were being, you know, they were making an example out of us, because there is a lot of community hatred towards our server. Like there's a Twitter that has like blocked servers. Like when a server gets blocked, our tweet of announcing us getting blocked has like the most interactions out of any tweet on that Twitter. And bro, the replies is just pure hatred, man. Like like people just hate us. So I think when they saw that response, they just wanted to, I don't know what they're trying to do, because I don't know, it sucked. And also what they did is they instantly blocked Mindcadia, thinking it was a Viper IP. Mindcadia was never supposed to be blocked, but they blocked us as well. But luckily, Mindcadia got unblocked like a lot faster once we proved this to them that it was a different server. But as for Viper, like they kept us blocked even though we were in contact with them, which kind of sucked, dude. So looking back on it now, it was a terrible, depressing time, to be honest, and it was very stressful. We've moved on, and to be clear, the Mojang enforcement team I think is a lot more organized now. I believe back then like their policies were changing a lot because they didn't really know how to weigh things as like pay to win or like a proper business model. I think even our discussions with them in the past during that block period changed some of their policies in a good way for server owners. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on that briefly because there was a lot we never actually spoke about with the blocking period, but now that Viper's kind of done, it's like I think it's all right to talk about. But yeah, I don't know. We were definitely being targeted. Other server owners were like reporting us as well and like trying to get us blocked with like outdated false information, which sucked as well. And the enforcement team was like listening to them, which is crazy. Again, they weren't really verifying anything. So we were definitely treated unfairly back then. But again, today the enforcement team is a lot more organized. They're very nice. They're communicative, and we've communicated with them various times, and they quickly, you know, reply to you now. It's like a day turnaround time, and if they have any issues, they reach out, and if you give them an explanation or you fix the issue, it's done. You don't get blocked instantly or anything like that. But yeah, back then it was rough, guys. I was not expecting to speak about that for so long, so I apologize, but maybe that's interesting to you guys because that was a very critical part of Viper's history. Anyways, we came back after being unblocked. Viper, you know, came back with I think over 1,000 players. We even did stuff like free high roller, and that had like over 1,000 players as well, like 1,600 I think. But just slowly over time, player counts diminished, all the way down to when we were getting like almost 100 players Start of the World, and that was like terrible for HCF. It'd be dead after the first day. Like, I mean, even through Start of the World time, timer would be dead. That's when we kind of came up with the idea of making our own game mode, which is Cobra. I'm not going to speak about that too much because I feel like I've talked about it so often about why we did it and all that sort of stuff. But we made our own game mode. I really liked how it turned out, and we're disappointed to see it never really got the attention that what could have been. But it was honestly, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of players actually look back on it now and they reach out to us and they say, dang, bring Cobra back. It was actually fun. But unfortunately, you know, it is a complex game mode, and we were marketing it to HCF, so that was a kind of a mistake we made, that it was kind of hard to get these players to commit to something completely different, more grindy, and just a lot more progression and complexity involved, pretty much. We did Cobra. Viper died. We did Cobra. Cobra took a long time to create, like a very, very long time to create. We invested thousands and thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours, and unfortunately, you know, eventually that died as well. Then we're like, okay, Cobra's not working. We need to bring back Viper, and we need to full force it. This is the revival of Viper. This is one of the happiest moments, to be completely honest, with the Viper history. We came back, bro, had over 2,000 players on our grand release, and no, that is not spoofed. We've never spoofed on Viper under our ownership. I think back then, like in like 2016 or something, there was probably spoofing. Everyone spoofed back then, but when we came back, there's never been any spoofing on Viper. So that was 2,000 real players, which is just, it was crazy. It was crazy. So that was surreal to see. But the drop off from the next map, we lost like, I don't know, like 500 players, 600 players. And then the next map lost even more, and then lost even more. And then that slowly died. Okay. But we had our big update planned already again called Into the Oasis. And this was just like a typical update for Viper, but it was actually pretty, like a lot of content for Viper, for Infernal and stuff like that, that kind of changed up stuff for HCF, you know, just more stuff to do, making it more fun. But the update did not really perform that well. We had just about 1,000 players, which I honestly, guys, 1,000 players on any other server on a release is amazing, but on HCF it's not, because of how short-term the maps are and how quickly players judge that player count. A lot of players are used to thousands, like over 1,000 players on every start of the world, and if you go under that threshold is where you kind of consider, oh, the server's dead, oh, I'm not going to play, you know. That's kind of how it goes, and that effect compounds on itself. It's like, okay, this player sees that the player count's low, so he's not going to log on, and then that just trickles down, keeps going, and then eventually it's dead. So that died again, completely, like outright died again, like went down to 100 players. So we're like, okay, something needs to change. And then we tried 1.20. 1.20 was very recent. We put a lot of work into it. To be completely frank, I didn't do too much with 1.20. I was really burnt out after, you know, Cobra, and then 1.8 failed because I put a lot of work into that. So the rest of the Viper team did a lot for it, and big shout out to them. They did, honestly, I think they did an amazing job, but it's just unfortunate what had to happen. So I guess we all just decided it's time to, you know, move on and let go. After the first release did 400 players, second release did like 100, which is like really low, and we knew it wasn't going to go up after that. We had plans to advertise to 1.20 communities, but there's difficulties with that in a 2-week-long game mode. Like a lot of the players that you can reach with shorts, TikToks, 1.20 content, those players do not like resets. That's why like lifesteal or survival like almost resets never, or it's like every like 5 months or something like that. And that's why you can market that. But a 2-week-long map is hard to engage players in. Also, legacy PvP, which in my opinion is required for HCF, which is no hit delay, that's not very likable by that community. Even if we had the players that we wanted, like thousands of them, we would probably only be able to hold like 400 because of how 1.20 destroys server performance, unless we did some more complex like performance stuff, which we haven't done previously, what we could have done. But again, that's a whole issue as well in itself. The second issue is that we took away like partner items, stuff like that. Monetization was drastically changed, so that obviously affects the sustainability of us as a business, and obviously we can't sustain a business that isn't working. So there's that. But there's a lot of other difficulties I'm probably not thinking about, but 1.20 we aren't going to continue with that. And we are just going to close the server, which is probably, like I said, already been announced. Maybe you guys already know about that. But that's like the history. It's been an uphill battle where, you know, things look good, but then they go downhill. They look good, they go downhill. Like Cobra's beta had like 700 players, which is amazing. And we had like a lot of hype for it, but downhill. 1.8 revival, a lot of hype, downhill. Then Into the Oasis, a lot of hype, downhill. That's just how it goes. And I think it's time to finally let it go and move on. Instead of continuing to try to make something work that players just don't want. So that's like the history, the uphill battle I was referencing, and why we've decided to close down, and just a lot of, you know, details about the whole thing. A lot of stuff I just spoke about with the Mojang block was never spoke about before. But yeah, the final start of the world. So we are going to do a farewell start of the world, just for, you know, to put you know, the final closure to the server is going to be on Saturday, November 25th, probably at like 2 p.m. EST or something like that. It'll be in our Discord. The announcement will be there. And I think we're also going to be talking to players in Discord during that start of the world timer, like answering questions and all that sort of stuff. So you guys can pop out if you want, and maybe just say goodbye to HCF as it is, or at least Viper. I think that's kind of all. I've been rambling about a lot of stuff. That's like, again, I wanted to talk about the history because I know a lot of people are subscribed to me that have never played HCF or that haven't played in a while. I know there's people that used to play years ago and they haven't touched it in a while. So I just wanted to explain the context so you guys kind of understand what it's been like for us, you know, trying to fight this battle and trying to make it work, and why we're finally, you know, throwing in the towel. So I guess that's kind of it for this video. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Again, to summarize what I'm doing, I have 3 other channels I upload super actively on. Again, gambling content though, so I'm not going to recommend that unless you enjoy that, or obviously you are on the older side of the audience. And then also I'm going to be continuing this channel, doing a lot of Minecadia. We're going to be expanding Minecadia further, doing some more game modes on there, and hopefully we can change that into an even bigger server than it is right now. And then we also have hoplite content I'm uploading right now. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Again, thank you guys so much. Without you guys, just even if you haven't ever played on the server, if you just watch the videos, anything you guys ever did, you all contributed to Viper's success over these years, and I really appreciate it. And I mean, this is also a big deal for my channel. Like I said, HCF has always been the main thing. So let's keep moving forward. Let's see where we can take it. And as always, I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next video. It'll probably be either tomorrow or the next day. I think maybe, depending on when this goes out, it'll be the Minecadia start of the world. So hope to see you guys there for that, maybe, okay? All right, guys. Good vibes only. It's a good moment for us, I think. You know, it's a bittersweet ending, okay? It's time to move on, and it's time to reflect on the time we had together. All right, that's all. Peace.